Welcome back, guys, to day 30, the 30th day. Practical advice. Before concluding the pious exercises of this blessed month, it will be as well, O Christian soul, to reflect on some simple practical truths. Firstly, as regards gratitude, rely much on that of the dead, for the dead, said St. Francis of Sales, are always grateful for what has been done for them in this life, but reckon little, very little, on that of the living, and more especially if they are your own children. Your heirs will probably give you a grand funeral and a handsome tombstone, in all of which vanity will have a larger share than either filial or religious affection, and in proportion as they will have been lavish in these things, they will give less to the church for any of her services. Your heirs will, in all probability, be more eager to quarrel over their inheritance than to execute your last wishes and free you from purgatory. Do you not know that when a person is out of sight, their friends soon lose all recollection of them? As the saying is, out of sight, out of mind. Are you not aware that forgetfulness of the dead is almost universal in these days? The remembrance of them ends often with the sound of the funeral bell. And do you not also know that in what regards your salvation, you must trust to no one but only to yourself? Profit then by the salutary advice given by the author of the Imitation. Trust not in thy friends and kinsfolk, nor put off the welfare of thy soul to hereafter, for men will sooner forget than thou imaginest. If thou art now if thou art not now careful for thyself, who will be careful for thee hereafter? Secondly, if you have worldly goods to dispose of, make your will as soon as you can, and do not put it off to your last hour. Who knows, O Christian soul, if your death may not be sudden and unprovided? Experience endorses this advice, for it is well known that many die without having time to make their wills, and before they could arrange what they wished regarding the disposal of their property. I beg of you, St. Augustine, that before sickness disables you, you will make your will, and put in order the affairs of your household. For if you wait till you are on your deathbed, menaces and flattery will be made use of to force you to do what you had no intention of doing. Thirdly, it is advisable, if you have it in your power, to leave something for religious and charitable works, but more especially, make provision for securing to yourself spiritual assistance, leaving an alms for anniversary masses for yourself and your family. He who intends to undertake a long journey to a far-off country makes his preparations in accordance. And will you undertake the long journey from time to eternity without taking with you good works to propitiate the sovereign judge and to obtain for you the gates of heaven? Let the money which you may have, and which is so often made use of for sin and vanity, become a friend to your soul in its affliction. All honor and glory be to our Lord Jesus Christ in this world where we combat, in purgatory where we suffer, and in heaven where we will meet again and be united in eternal happiness. Example: a man had 3 friends, and 2 of these he loved very particularly. One day he was accused of a great crime of which he was innocent, and turning to his friends he said, "Who will come with me to the court and give testimony to my innocence?" The first made an excuse, alleging that business prevented him. The second accompanied him to the entrance of the court and turned back fearing to face the judge. The third, on whose friendship the accused reckoned the least, accompanied him, spoke in his favor, and testified to his innocence in so convincing a manner that the judge not only liberated him but granted him further privileges. In this world, a man has 3 friends, and when God, at the hour of death, summons him to judgment, money, his favorite friend, does not accompany him, but leaves him, being no longer of any use to him. His relatives and friends follow him to the grave, sprinkle holy water on his coffin, bid a last farewell, and return quietly to their homes. The third friend, the one he had probably thought the least about during life, are his good works. They, and they only, do not leave him. They accompany him before his judge. They stand before him, speak in his favor, and obtain mercy and pardon for him. Opera illorum secuntur illos. Christian soul, when you make your will, leave something for good works, and you will then secure for yourself true friends who will close the gates of purgatory and open for you those of heaven. Hoc fac et vives. The heroic act. Father Gaspar Oliden, a Theatan monk, Established under the pontificate of Benedict XIII, the devotion entitled the Heroic Act, though some centuries previous it appears to have been known in the Church. By a brief dated August 23rd, 1728, Benedict XIII enriched it with many indulgences, which have been confirmed by Pius VI and Pius IX. The heroic act consists in a voluntary offering made in favor of the faithful departed by any one of the faithful on earth, of all works of satisfaction done by him in this life, as well as of all suffrages which shall be offered for him after death, leaving them all in the hands of the Blessed Virgin to distribute them as she pleases. This heroic act of charity has frequently received the authoritative approbation of the Church. It has also been enriched with great indulgences, but in the course of time, doubts have arisen as to some of the conditions for gaining the indulgences. And recently, the Sacred Congregation of Indulgences has issued a decree solving 5 of those most frequently recurring. The decree decides, in the first place, that indulgences declared by the Holy See to be applicable to the souls in purgatory are included amongst the opera satisfactoria, which by the heroic act are offered for the faithful departed. Secondly, those who reserve to themselves indulgences granted to the living do not satisfy the conditions, but are bound to apply them all to the holy souls, in accordance with the words of the indult. Thirdly, it is not an integral part of the heroic act that the dispensation of these spiritual favors should be placed in the hands of Our Lady. Fourthly, the plenary indulgence which a person who has made the heroic act will gain by going to Holy Communion or by hearing Mass on Mondays need not be placed at the disposal of the Blessed Virgin, but may be applied to any of the poor souls at the discretion of the donor. Lastly, a priest who has made the heroic act and who is using the privilege which some priests possess at Mass of what is called a privileged altar must apply the plenary indulgence gained thereby to the soul of the person for whom the Mass is offered. This solemn promise does not oblige under pain of sin, and it can be revoked. And this brings us to the last day, and thank you guys for listening. I hope that the month of Holy Souls, hopefully you picked up something, and let's keep praying for our dearly beloved ones who have gone ahead of us. Okay, thank you, and God bless.